Hello everyone, welcome to LUKMAAN IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 29th December 2020. So let us see which are the important articles in today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, only few articles relevant to our examination. Let us take input. First article on page number 6. The context of the article, it is discussing the kind of two-front challenge that India is facing from China and Pakistan. तो इसके बारे में आर्टिकल में डिस्कस किया गया है एंड हाउ इंडिया शुड अडॉप्ट टू दिस लेट्स से व्हाट स्ट्रेटजी इंडिया शुड अडॉप्ट टू टैकल विथ और डील विथ सच टू फ्रंट चैलेंज. So very important article, we will say that directly the question can be asked in your IR section GS2 paper. Okay, so let us see what is given here. Okay, such kind of question can be asked in internal security also, but generally we can expect the question when there is external aggression or the bilateral or such kind of situations we can expect in IR also. Okay, so how to deal with the two front challenge that we are facing right now. So the Chinese intrusions in Ladakh in May 2020 this year, the violence that resulted from the clashes between the armies of two countries and deadlock in negotiations have made Chinese military threat more apparent and real now, and the direct result of this is arrival of worrisome two front situation for New Delhi, that is India. Okay, so the rising China-Pakistan military links. So yes, the relationship is growing further, we can say that, and it can be visible from the military cooperation between two countries accounting, like China accounting for 73% of the total arms import of Pakistan between 2015 to 2019. Shaheen 9 Pakistan-China joint exercise between air forces of two countries, that is every year happening every year, Shaheen 9. Okay, so it would therefore be prudent for India to be ready for two front threat. In preparing for this, Indian military needs to realistically analyze how this threat could manifest itself and type of capabilities that should be built up to counter this front. Okay, so yes, it is impossible to define any certainty the contours of two front conflict, however, and how it would actually play out. However, it is certain that what is certain is that that threat cannot be ignored, and therefore we need to develop both doctrine and capability to deal with this contingency. There is too much focus on major platforms such as aircraft, ships, tanks, and not enough on future technologies such as robotics, AI, cyber, electronic warfare, etc. And therefore we have to, let's say, balance all these things based on the detailed assessment of China and Pakistan war fighting strategies. Okay, so we can understand that the cyber warfare is the new warfare or the era, new area we can say in 21st century. Two important areas, cyber warfare and space warfare, for new areas wherein the warfare strategies are being built by the countries, major countries in 21st century. Role of diplomacy, what is the role of diplomacy? Major role can be played, for example, neighbors के साथ अच्छे relation रखना, then the government's current engagement with the key powers in West Asia including Iran should be further strengthened in order to ensure energy security, increase maritime cooperation and enhance goodwill in the extended neighborhood, West Asia में. New Delhi must also ensure that its relationship with Russia is not sacrificed in favor of India-US relations, given that Russia could play a very important role in diffusing the severity of regional gang up against India. Okay, so this has been like, this can be explained from the recent the standoff that was going between India and China, and somehow Russia helped for the negotiations between two countries. Platforms like SCO, RIC is there, so that helps. Okay, then the maritime strategy could also help ease the Sino-Pakistan pressure in the continental sphere. So accordingly, India should build its build it maritime, let's say security, maritime strategy with the help of quadrilateral group or quadrilateral security dialogue, quad. Outreach to Kashmir, so this is for political front. So there should be a well choreographed, we can say, political outreach to Kashmir aimed at pacifying the aggrieved citizens. There would go a long way towards that end. ठीक है. So in conclusion, we can say that it is important to remember that China, a rising and aggressive superpower next door, is the bigger strategic threat for India, with Pakistan being the second order accessory to Beijing's contain India strategy. So basically article at the start itself, it says that up till now we did not consider China as a major threat. We consider that China will not provoke India, we can say, or involve in a violent activity along the border, or violate any convention that has been there in the bilateral agreement, we will say that. But the recent incursions and you can say standoff that is going on, there is no, let's say, solution up till now found, or the final negotiations and deadlock still continues. That has resulted into the threat from China is now being considered as real and major as compared to Pakistan. Okay. So accordingly we can take input here. Next article, yes, again the writer is discussing the pros and cons of, we can say, the recent agriculture laws, farm laws passed by the government. So here we can tackle such kind of question like, in bringing recent agriculture reforms through various laws are well intentioned but require some amendments. Discuss the statement in the light of demands raised by the farmers through protests. So what are these what amendments should be there, what should not be. ठीक है, तो वो सारी चीज़ें इस आर्टिकल में डिस्कस किए. कुछ नए पॉइंट्स हम इसमें ऐड करेंगे. पहले भी हमने ये आर्टिकल डिस्कस किया हुआ है, that farm laws related. So major objections and fears related to these three laws are: agriculture produce market committees will eventually be closed, the minimum support price will be stopped, third will be corporates will take over agriculture trade, and farmers land will be taken over by powerful corporates. ऐसे concerns and fears है, objections. There are quite few major reasons for undertaking reforms in agriculture in recent times. क्या क्या problems हो रही है agriculture में? A gap between agri income of farmer and that of non-agriculture worker increasing a lot in recent times. There is widespread feeling of agrarian distress. Aggregate food demand have fallen short of domestic production. It has increased and demand is less. India's agri exports are getting difficult to push and imports are turning attractive. Rural youth including farmers' children are looking for jobs outside the agriculture. There are numerous instances of market failure detriment to both producers and consumers. So the way forward here will be ensuring remunerative prices to farmers through increased competition of sale of their produce, development of modern value chain, value addition, export and processing as part of rural economic revitalization. So this should be the way forward, but how to address the concerns of the farmers? There is also need to understand that APMC has nothing to do with payment of MSP. Crops other than paddy and wheat, cotton are selling at prices below MSP, even in Punjab. ठीक है, तो वो concern नहीं होना चाहिए. Only for two crops the MSP is concerned at present, wheat and rice. The experience shows that even after fruits and vegetables were denotified from APMCs, they continued to arrive at APMC mandis in large quantities while farmers got additional options. So the major aspect we can consider here, or major threat, is that the states use these mandis for extra revenue generation. Therefore, the protesting farmers leaders have raised the genuine concern to keep level playing field for APMC and private players. तो ये एक सही कंसर्न है, and our agriculture minister has shown agreement to address this concern fully. ठीक है. Along with that, another provision of new trading act under attack is simple requirement of PAN card for trader. तो ऐसे कुछ stringent criteria नहीं होने चाहिए. If the stringent criteria such as bank guarantee etc. are included in the registration of traders, then agriculture trade will remain in the hands of trading class, and spirit of new law to facilitate farmers and rural youth to become agri-business entrepreneurs will be lost. So there should not be such stringent criteria. The experiences of contract farming, which is already going on in various pockets of the country, shows critics and protesting farmers are mixing contract farming with the corporate farming. So the new law specifically talks that it is voluntary and either party is free to leave after expiry of agreement. It prohibits the farming agreement to include the transfer, sale, lease, mortgage of land and premises of farmers. So need not to worry about the land. Rather, the positives of the act are it will lead to diversification, quality production for premium price, export and direct sale of produce with desired attributes to interested consumers. It will also bring new capital and knowledge into agriculture and pave way for farmers' participation in value chain. See, these are important topics in your syllabus itself. ठीक है कि एग्रीकल्चर डाइवर्सिफिकेशन होना चाहिए, राइट. सो GS3 पेपर में जो एग्रो इकोनॉमी पार्ट है, राइट, so that is important. Direct question can be asked on these laws or in general the problems faced by the country in food grain movement or marketing. Fine. Next, PM flags of India's first driverless train. So ये मेट्रो दिल्ली में जो है ड्राइवरलेस मेट्रो मैजेंटा लाइन पे इनॉग्रेट हुआ है, कंट्रीज फर्स्ट ड्राइवरलेस ट्रेन. So some of the important facts you can take input from, like by 2025 metro services will expand to 25 cities from the current 18. At present 18 cities has metro facilities. And at the same time, Prime Minister said the expanding metro network was an indication of ease of living among the citizens. Use such kind of words in essay paper also. At the same time, new kind of versions of metros are being explored where the passenger numbers are less, small cities mein, like Metro Light version, Metro Neo, or the cities which are there large water bodies, the system of water metro is also being worked upon. Water metro, ठीक है, जहाँ पे बहुत सारे वाटर बॉडीज है, तो कनेक्टिविटी के लिए ये एक हम बोल सकते हैं नए एवेन्यूज एक्सप्लोर किए जा रहे हैं. फाइन, ओके. सो इम्पोर्टेंट कैप्शंस एंड कोटेशंस. सो IR से रिलेटेड या सिक्योरिटी से रिलेटेड ये एक अच्छा कैप्शन है. चाइना इज द मेजर थ्रेट while Pakistan is the second order accessory to Beijing's contain India strategy. Okay, so these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. For further information on editorial discussion classes or ED classes wherein in-depth analysis of mains related issues and articles is done by Ansari Sir and team, you can contact LUKMAAN IAS. Thank you.